So for those of you at home, we just got done reading the cover story, watched a video on some of the issues of federalism and how states and national government can come in conflict, especially this one key story in 1963, Governor Wallace refusing students to enter Alabama University because of their skin color. All right, so I'll let you guys read that. So national state powers on 95, the division of powers, national powers. Okay, continue on and finish up on 96. All right, so on 96. So stop after inherent powers. All right, so when you're finished up with that, here's the bell ringer for today. Describe what federalism is. I know we went over this last chapter. And give an example of federalism. There we go. Federalism. You have to, you can look it up. Obviously, it explains it in the chapter that you just read, so that'll work out too. So what is federalism? All right, real quick, what is federalism? What is federalism? What is that? What do you got? Z, what is federalism?
Federalism is a mix or compound mode of government that combines a general government and a regional governments.
All right, yeah, okay, good job, good job. So federalism is a combination of a national power, right? A national government, a central government, and then we have it's reserved for the states as well. So it's a balance of power, I guess you could say. So to make sure that the national government's not too strong, and make sure that the states have their own individual powers as well. So federalism is the sharing of these powers amongst the national government and the state government. All right, so what's an example of federalism? What do we think? What's an example of federalism? We just talked about a conflict there with Wallace, right? Governor Wallace of Alabama. You guys ever see Forrest Gump? Yeah, so that part's in Forrest Gump too, which is, I think, is kind of ironic. Well, it's just a cool scene where Forrest picks up the book of one of the students that dropped it and helps him out. He's on TV. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll play it at the end of class here. I think it's funny. What's an example of federalism? What do we have? Sarah, what do you have?
So, like, if the state government passes a law or a bill for the federal government constitutional, the federal government should check the state government.
Yeah, good job, good job. So they need to see if it's constitutional, see if the states are maybe acting out of their own power, okay? And then vice versa, right? So the state governments can do pretty much the same thing. All right, good job. So like you mentioned, a balance of power. I like that. All right, moving on here. So we're going to talk about these powers more in detail. I know we went over them just in all right, so federalism. We know federalism divides the powers of the United States government between the national government and the states. So we already know that. That's in our bell ringer for today. Okay. Delegated powers. Delegated powers. What are delegated powers? What's another name for them? Sarah?
Are they like enumerated powers?
So enumerated goes with express, but yeah, national powers. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. So delegated powers, Constitution provides national government delegated powers. Okay, they're exclusive. I mean, they're not only given to the national government. Okay, so we have three different types of delegated powers that you already read about. So we should know these already. There it is. The delegated powers, right? And I'll put in parentheses national powers. That makes sense. National powers. So for the central government, federal government, national government, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And what are the three branches of powers we have? What's one of them? The first one that states it in the Constitution. I don't want to say it. I don't want to give it away. What is it? Okay, so implied's one. We'll get to that one here soon. Express powers. Yep, good job. Express powers. So we can just say they're enumerated as well. Enumerated powers. So that's where that falls in, Sarah. Yeah, they are delegated powers, but we kind of want to express them express powers. And what does that mean, express powers? What does that mean? They're expressed in Constitution, right? Yeah, expressed in the Constitution. All right, so we know that is expressed in the Constitution. They're specifically stated, and we went through those amendments already. Do we need to do another quiz on them, Holden? Oh, okay. All right, I hope not. Okay, and then you mentioned, Lydia, what did you say? Implied powers. Good. Implied powers. What does that mean? What does that mean? Implied powers. Are they specifically stated? Lydia, go ahead. Yeah, good job. So they're not specifically stated, right? But they're implied that the national government has those powers. And where'd that come from? What's another name for implied powers? What clause? Do you remember? What do you?
Elastic.
Yeah, the elastic clause, right? Necessary and proper. Good. Well, court case. Uh-oh. Now I'm asking a bunch of questions off of that. Implied powers, necessary and proper, elastic, right? And what court case did that come from? Alex, do you remember in the back? No? Penn State just got walloped by them. Yeah, Colt versus Maryland. There you go. Good job. Good job. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. All right. Last power we got. That was mentioned here in your reading. What do we have? What do we have? Z?
Powers.
Inherent. Good job. Inherent powers, which we'll talk about more in detail here soon. Good. Inherent powers. So those are the three delegated powers I want you to know. So delegated, plain and simple, national powers. Okay, we'll talk about states' powers here probably tomorrow. Okay, not specifically stated in the Constitution, not delegated to the national government. And then these are the three branches I need you to know. Okay, and then the examples we're about to go over here soon. So we already went over these powers. Express powers, okay, are delegated to the national government, spelled out, they're expressed in the Constitution. We already know. So make sure you know some of these examples here. You can write them down in a notebook or whatever you would like to do. Lay and collect taxes. We know the federal government does that. And what are taxes for? What are they for? What do they help fund? Taxes. I don't know. Z? What was one of the big issues with the Articles of Confederation?
That they had no power to tax.
Yeah, so what is the taxes benefit for? What do they benefit for? What do we need to protect ourselves? So strong. Military, right? Yeah, army. Okay, good. Coin money. That was another issue, the Articles of Confederation we already talked about. A lot of these express powers are detailing those weaknesses. Okay. Interstate commerce. Oh, there's another weakness from the Articles of Confederation. See how it's repeating itself, right? Okay, they want to try to solve those issues from the AC, right? Maintain and raise the military. Okay, so that is, which we'll talk about, kind of overlaps into another power, is it's the Selective Service Act, the draft. Okay, drafting members into the armed forces. Declare war, grant patents and copyrights, fix standards for weight and measures. So express powers, we know that they're expressed, specifically stated in the Constitution. Biggest ones: collect taxes, coin money, interstate commerce, those weaknesses in the Articles of Confederation. All right, implied powers. We know those are not specifically stated in the Constitution, but they're implied that the national government has these sort of powers. So regulation of labor, okay? So with that, obviously through the progressive era, we talked about that in American history. I'm sure you guys heard of it with Mr. Henninger as well, okay? How you're going to regulate labor. So this comes to minimum wage. This comes to help with benefits, okay? Working hours, safe conditions in the workplace, so on and so forth. So guidelines that businesses need to follow to try to protect their workers and provide some sort of safety for them, okay? Building highways and dams. Okay, this really got pushed in the 1950s under President Eisenhower. Tried the interconnection of the country. And a lot of it was just to try to prepare for maybe an invasion or some sort of attack on American soil. So that's why these highways, these interstates were created, to travel military equipment, supplies, troops faster and efficient way. Okay, yeah, railroads are great and all, but with these new types of technology, highways and roadways were needed. And if there is no case of emergency, then people can use them for transportation, that's what we do. That's what we use them for. Dams, okay, obviously generation of power. So generating power for common good for states, cities, whatever it might be, okay. And with those implied powers, now obviously they weren't seen back in the founding fathers' days, but with nuclear power, generation of power, that was something that obviously not many people thought was going to happen. But with nuclear power, that's something that's implied. Okay, establishing that. You got that, Kiesling? All right, good. Termination of federal crimes and then racial discrimination. That's where the implied powers of JFK during that instance in the beginning of the class where I showed you that problem with Governor Walsh, that conflict. He has that power. It's implied that the national government has that. They can try to establish the equality of people, citizens, not only in these issues with segregation in the South. Okay, and we know the necessary and proper clause. Although they're not specifically stated in the Constitution, they're implied that the national government has that. You got that? You good? Yeah, I hope so. I don't see anybody writing anything down. Inherent powers. Okay, last one. Inherent powers are those that come along with being sovereign state in the world. So regulating immigration. Obviously, we know that with today's world with COVID-19. Okay, we're trying to regulate immigration specifically from those places, the hotbeds, right, in the world. And European countries are doing the same for the United States because how many cases that are being form positive and things like that. But immigration all definitely during times of conflict with the Middle East, okay, especially now with COVID-19, there's a lot of restrictions on immigration. Acquiring territory, okay, inherent powers of the national government, obviously, right? You can't have states going and claiming their own territory. That's pretty crazy. But the national government, especially, inherent power as they're expanding, especially during a time of imperialism, countries expanding for their own growth, resources, raw materials, setting up military bases, you name it. All right, protection of the nation, we already know that as well. So establishing those military bases and our presence in other places throughout the world, that's obviously a power given to the national government. All right, is there any questions on that? As long as you know some of those examples, you'll be good to go. It might be a short answer on a quiz or something in the near future. All right, so again, on page 96, I'd like you to check out here, government and you. That's the last thing I'd like you to do for today. So go back to that classroom page and chapter in the book. Where are we at here? There it is. I think this is pretty interesting. Government and you displaying the flag. Displaying the flag. All right, so I'd like you to read that section and then think about that question. What are the rules governing flying the flag at half-staff? When was the last time a flag flew at half-staff over your school? There you go. Check that out. Okay, maybe you have to look into it a little bit. See when the last time that happened. Check out if I can find this video. Forrest Gump. There it is. I found it then. So we'll watch it after we discuss this here. All right, displaying the flag. What do we got here? Question. What are the rules governing flying the flag at half-staff? So in some cases, the flag touches the ground. You have to get rid of it, right? You can't allow the flag to touch the ground. If it became torn and tattered, you have to destroy it. Some cases by burning it. I think that's the best way to do it once it's torn and tattered. Symbol, if the flag's upside down, that's a symbol of distress. So whenever there's an issue with the flag upside down, that's a signal of distress. Something might be happening, maybe an attack or terrorist attack. Who knows? Whatever it might be. Okay, that's just to show people that something's going on that they need help with. My cousin, the one time when he put up the flag at her elementary school, put it upside down, and like, oh, what's going on? What's going on up there? It was kind of funny. My cousin's like, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. It was early in the morning, and I don't think he got in trouble for it, but there's pay attention next time you put that up. Which I thought was funny. All right, so when was the last time the flag was flown up, or half-staff? Okay, half-staff. Anybody know? When does it usually get hung up half-staff? When does that usually happen? What are some examples? Go ahead, Holden. Yeah, Memorial Day. Good job. So Memorial Day. So to try to show respect and tribute to those that gave their all during war. Good. Times of distress. So let's say a president dies or passes away. They put it up, half-mast to show respect towards that president. Sometimes it might be a governor. Sometimes it might be a politician or a famous political figure. I know recently they did it for the COVID-19. Some of the people show respect towards people that passed away of COVID-19. Governor Wolf issued that, which I thought was really respectful. Yeah, there's many instances, right? There's many instances that they throw it up half-mast. All right, is there any questions on that? I thought that was interesting with federalism. Obviously, it's state, local level. It might be someone, I don't know, that was really well known in the community that we might do the same thing for. Okay, I'll show you this video real quick. That's right. Yep, Judge Ginsburg, right? Good. Yeah, with the judicial branch, the court justice. Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, usually Tallhelm's all over that. He knows when those issues are, when it should be flown half-mast. So he's all over that. Okay, so I'll show you this video real quick. Stop recording. I'll post